Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Alps Panorama at the Northern Sea here in Farming Simulator 19. Let's just double check that I have got it is, yes, this is the train station mill. So yeah, 3 miles to travel all of that distance. Just to turn round. Which is a lot. That's a lot of mileage just to be able to have your car facing the right direction for where you want to go. So, yeah, I mean, when you live with something like that, you don't really give it very much thought until you move away from there and you come back, like, a little bit later and you sort of think, wow, that really was, like, a really inconvenient thing that we had to deal with all the time. And I'm quite glad that I don't live there anymore, because it was, you know, it was quite a long trek just to be able to turn your vehicle round. And that's what we're basically doing here, where we're having to go on a really long trek just to be able to turn our vehicle round. I mean, maybe if we were to use this track a little bit more, it would be worth us building our own track, coming off of the top one down onto the bottom one, sacrificing a little bit of our field. Not that I think that we're going to be doing this very much, because honestly most of the milk is going to be delivered with the actual delivery service rather than us doing it, but we will do it occasionally. Now, we had 111,000 euros from selling that milk, and we've got now 121,000, which means that we do have enough money to buy another planter if we want one. We don't want one, because we're not planting the corn yet, and we're almost done with the sunflowers. He's, forgotten how to drive again, isn't he? Look at that, he's twerking again. Right. New theory here. Okay, I'm just going to stop driver right there. And I'm going to clear that course, because this course is saved. I'm going to drop that there. I'm going to unhitch that one. And then I'm going to take this tractor back to the farm. I think it's partly to do with the tractor. Right? I think that for whatever reason, this tractor... I don't think it's necessarily this tractor. I think it's articulated tractors don't seem to do well with courseplay with that drill. Now, that's my theory. We can test this theory because I'm about to go back to the yard and I'm going to get one of the other ones. I think we'll get Skittles. We'll have Skittles doing this. So you can go over and you'll be like, what did we use to do the other planter? We used we used Skittles to do the other. No, we did both of them, didn't we? We had the Amazon seed drill being pulled by the Ford T9 in one of the fields, and Skittles as well. But my theory is that Skittles will do this a bit better. Although saying that, it was a tractor, a standard tractor rather than an articulated tractor that did the spraying in the time-lapse series last week, and that one was having the exact same issue. It was not turning properly at the ends of the rows. It was like it was like the whole size of the tractor was wrong. But we'll try it. We need to test these things. There it is. We need to test these things. We will try it. We will take Skittles out there and we will see if it's just down to the tractor, or if it is indeed down to the seed drill itself. I suspect, unfortunately, that it is actually the seed drill and not the tractor. And I'm not really sure. I mean, we could always try buying a smaller seed drill, and we can see what that does. But, again, I'm not really sure. I think it's partly to do with how well it turns the corners at the ends of the row. And I'm not really sure about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like, look how far he's managed to drift off. He's supposed to be all the way over there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this one out over to here. We're going to load in the planting course for field 8 right there. So I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to go here, and no, I'm going to go here, and we want field 8 planting. Load course, just load course like that. Field 8 planting, and It's supposed to head back up there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring it over here. I don't know if Courseplay itself will recognize that we've already done the planting on this little bit, or if it will just say, no, you know, you can keep going. So I'm going to put it to there, and I'm going to drive course from the next nearest waypoint. So it's going to go to there. Right, it's coming on round, and it's doing so rather fast. Oh, wait a minute, I know what I've done. Stop driver. Right, I did that one, the one point to the next. I needed to set it on that one there. So let's bring you over again. And I'll go to about there, and then I will go drive course. Right, he has stuck the planter in the ground. Right, that's a little better. That's a little better. So, without having to worry about the seed drill being in the ground, he was absolutely fine. There is one other thing that I want to do, and that is... Okay, looks like he's lifting up late and putting it down early, so I don't need to go and do that. But this right here, he's not able to take that turn very well. Like, this seed drill doesn't work well with taking those turns. So now he's going to come to here, and he should now back up and straighten up. And he's done exactly the same thing again. He's done exactly the same thing again. He does not like turning. So I don't know what causes this. This is a bit that is a little bit of confusion for me. I don't quite know why it's doing that. Whether it's something to do with how the course is generated, how it's taking the turns. I'm not quite sure. But it's definitely not turning properly. And then on top of that, I mean, maybe it's because I'm turning too fast. Maybe I'm going too fast with the reversing on this one. I can try that. I can try just altering the speed on here, speed on there. Reversing speed is 12k and 15k for the turn speed. So I'll bring that down to 12 and I'll bring that down to 9, like that. Get rid of that. And then, oops, I want to go back to here and I want to drive course. There. Right. I'll let you carry on. So I'm not quite sure what's causing that. I will have a look into it and see if I can figure it out. But, yeah. I mean, it's not like a major thing. It's just a bit of an inconvenience that we're going to have to, like, patch that every time it tries to turn a corner. Whether it's just this drill or there's other things causing it as well. Because we didn't have it on the Amazon one. Right, the Amazon one was fine. It did the backing up. It did the reversing. No! No, it didn't, did it? It didn't do it on the Amazon one because the Amazon one's got a much sharper turn on it. The problem with these is that unlike the Amazon can turn almost back on itself and it didn't have any problem. So it didn't have to really shunt when it was doing it. This one, though, does have to shunt. Immediately he's done that. And it doesn't recognize the way that it's pivoted. I think it's the pivot on here. I think that's what it's doing. It doesn't like that pivot on there. Now, I set this course up with this not with this tractor, but with this seed drill. I didn't set the course up with a different seed drill. Okay, he's doing all right there, but he's... You know, you could just drive forwards now instead of being an idiot. What is wrong with this thing? He's going to do this right the way across the field, isn't he? All the way across the field. You know that's what he's going to do. He's going to go all the way across, and then that's going to be it. Turning... turning... Should I reduce the turning circle? 26-meter turning circle, or maybe I should increase it. Vehicle convoy, maximum distance, refill. Alright, I'm going to try a turning circle of 20 meters and see if that makes any difference, right? We will test it and see if changing that turning circle distance, reducing the turning circle, see if that helps. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So I will bring you over to here. And I'll bring the tractor up that way like that, there. And then I'll go into here and I'll say drive course, like that. I've reduced my turning circle. So we'll just watch this while he runs down across the field. He's doing absolutely fine on this bit. So we know for a fact that it wasn't just the articulated tractor. It's something to do with the seed drill, or the planter rather, not the tractor that's pulling it. But what it is, I mean, I'm standing by my original theory that the course play can't cope with the fact that the pivot on this one is more towards the middle of the machine. I reckon that it's treating it as though the pivot is at the back of the machine, and that's the bit that it's struggling with. Can't deal with the fact that the pivot is not that far back, and here I've gone for a sharper turning circle. So it's worked with the sharper turning circle. It's done alright with that, but it's now got to go up to here. Okay, so the sharper turning circle, whilst beneficial in that it's turned a little bit sharper and it's allowed it to drop back down again, it still did cause a slight problem in that we've left a little tiny bit of the crop has not been done. So what's it going to do at this end? Is it going to actually turn? Or is it going to decide, you know what, we're going to start this weird reversing dance all the way across the field from one end of our land to the other? Right. He's turning round. He's going he's going like he's really making use of this turning circle that I've told it to make use of. And he's coming up to that point there. Right. That does seem to have benefited it ever so slightly. Whether this is going to stay as a benefit that we can make use of, I'm not quite sure. So I will watch it once more, and then we do need to get back to the yard with our truck over there. I mean, it's not like a pressing emergency, but it would be handy if we could get back to the yard with our truck. So you come on down there and run out on the end of the field there. Right, so then he's going to lift up and he's going to turn. It's not got hung up on the tree, which I will take as a good thing. And he's bringing that one back out over here. And then he's getting to that point there, and then he's just carrying right on. Well, adjusting the turning circle does seem to have helped. Whether or not it's a really good thing, we'll have to wait and see for future plantings. But, yeah, at the moment, it seems to be alright. So we'll let that one just do what it's going to do to finish up that field while we take this one back. And then we are at the end of the day anyway. It's 7 o'clock in the evening now, late spring. We will get, yeah, well, we'll just need to bring that one back to the yard, and then that's it. We're done then. And sleep the night. Hopefully the ground temperature will be above 10 degrees tomorrow, so we can get the corn planted over in field 4. We'll use this same planter, we'll set up another course, and hopefully it will actually work instead of messing around and being ridiculous. Once that's all been planted, then that's it for the spring, I think. Well, I do need to do a coat of fertilizer. We need to put a bit of fertilizer on this field, and we'll need to put a bit of fertilizer over on the cornfield. Grass is... Actually, no, grass isn't grown yet. Grass is growing, but it's not grown yet. It's not completely grown. And yes, that is a proper technical term. I think I'm going to put the milk tanker in here. I was wondering where to put it. Because, yeah, you look at those Amazon ones, there's no limit on the hitch on those, and I think that's what's done it. I think that's what the difference is, because they hang out the back of the vehicle as well. Like the planting bits, that hangs out the back of the vehicle. That's the only thing I can come up with, is it's the way the hitch actually works, because that does trail behind exactly the same as the planter. Alright, let's go back over to our working tractor now. Oops, too far. There we go. We go back over to you. You've done alright so far. You've left a couple little bits over there. Quite frankly, I don't care about those. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop this one now. Stop driver like that, and I'm just going to clear that course away, because I want to just grab that little tiny triangle over there, and plant that bit in like that. Yeah, you can see, like, we are able to do turning, but it doesn't turn properly, and I can't quite fathom why it's not turning properly when it's reversing. There is something there, and I'm 90% certain it's because of the wheels not being at the back. Right, that's my theory on this, is the wheels not being at the back is the reason that it's doing it. Quite why that's causing it to do it, I don't really know. It is a bit of a mystery as to why that would be causing it, but I'm pretty certain that that is the cause. But why would it do it? What would be the reason for it doing that? I got a little tiny bit of crop right there that could be planted. There's a couple little bits of it. Really, that must be, like, we must have had other little issues with it not turning properly in that over here, in order to get these little bits stuck over this side. Very easy to see when you're going over land that has just been done with the what do you call thingy. You know the what do you call thingy, the lime. When you're going over land that has been done with lime spreader, it's very different to going over land that is just like got a little bit of stubble in the ground. So you can't really see the stubble all that well. Now bring this one over around here as well, like this, and we will hose this one down. Yes, we're going to be using it again. Well, actually, I suppose if we're using it again, we don't really need to worry about hosing it off just yet. We want to use this one in the morning. So if I bring it over to this side on here, and let me have a look in here a second. What was the other size of plant? We got planters in here, right? We've got that planter right there is a really good one. It's got 7,000. It's got a 12-meter spread on it. And then we've got this one here, the 18-meter spread. That one there has got 12 meters. That's another horse. So maybe we could try changing this out to the Valtra and see what that does. I mean, we could always try going with this one. It's got a smaller tank on it. It's got the same kind of spread, but you can trail along one of those traily thingies on those, can't you? I think you can. But anyway, we've also got the same Valtra by Stevie over there. It's just got a bigger seed capacity on the tank. Somebody's pointed out, actually, that it wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility to have your worker filling up their own seed. They pointed out, quite rightly so, that, when I was planting many years ago when I worked on a farm, I used to fill up the seed on the seed drill myself. The seed would be nearby, and then I would go and fill it up as and when I needed it. I didn't have somebody coming out to the field to top it up for me. I did that myself. So it wouldn't be an unusual thing for us to do it ourselves as well. I think you can have that one, and it will, technically it's supposed to go with that one, but I think that one does actually, it used to. You used to be able to put that one behind this one, I think. It was either behind or in front or something, and you could put the two together and you have a much bigger tank on it. Not sure if that works with Courseplay very well. I'm tempted to go with it. I think what we'll do is we will go with this, okay? We're going to do that. So I'm not going to do that. This one here, we'll go and get rid of this one. So I'm going to bring it over to here for a minute, like this. And we're going to unload it right here. So I will do that a minute. That's emptied that one out completely. Then we will take this one back to the shop. Right. And we will sell this one, and we'll buy the Stevie one with the bigger seed capacity on it, just to make life a little bit easier for us, so that we're not going to have to worry about refilling. I mean, we can put the settings so that workers refill fertilizer and seed as they're working, and I probably will change over to that one, but I'm quite happy. Although I suppose the Stevie one, that works at a faster rate as well, doesn't it? Well, that's not a bad thing either, is it? Right, this is supposed to be about big scale type things rather than super realistic type things, and just having a Stevie mod running. I don't want to. I've said that I won't be using too many Stevie mods, but I think this. Let's have a look. We'll just, before I commit to anything, let me have a look. Right, you first of all, the bouncing seed drill. Let's get rid of you. I've had enough of you. Alright? You're bouncing, you're causing trouble. Yeah, generally speaking, we'll just get rid of you completely. Okay. 27 kilometers an hour in the fields, and then this one over here is 15 kilometers an hour in the field. So the Stevie one is considerably faster to work up and down the field. This one would be at a standard rate. Now that is a 12-meter spread on it, and that one is also a 12-meter spread. So I'm going to go with the Valtra, and we're going to see if this one does any different. I'm going to buy that one. Yes, 129,000 euros like that. That leaves us with 153,000. If we get closer to harvest and we've got more money, or we should have because of milk and everything, hopefully we'll be able to buy a second combine, and that might speed things up a little bit further. So we've got that right there. Then we can go into here. Helper, refill, fuel, seed, fertilizer. I'm going to turn, we're going to buy or off. So we're going to buy that one, and we're going to buy that one. We're going to have them buying in seed and fertilizer while they're working. Not slurry, not manure. I'm not going to do any of that. And we won't do the fuel thing, because that's like a once a day type thing. So we'll leave it like that. So I will back out of here. And that means that we're not going to have to like run backwards and forwards and worry about getting the seed and stuff done like that. It's just going to speed it up a little bit. But I mean, the big question will be, is this one going to work? This is what I'm concerned about, is this one actually going to work? Are we going to have it reversing correctly on the ends of the fields? I'm 99% certain that the reason the other one wasn't working was because of the seed drill. There was something about the seed drill it didn't like. A bit like the herbicide sprayer that I was using in the time-lapse. Something about that one that they didn't like. And so it was being a little bit weird with it. Quite why it was being so weird, I have no clue. Not got the foggiest. Now, if I bring this one in here, bring you close to there, how does that one open? Like, can I even open it while it's like this? It is open. Not that you can see it, so I'm going to unfold. Oh, I see it pushes the wheels out a bit. Ah. Right, so we can unfold this one. You got 1,600 litres for corn capacity on there. And I'm going to start loading that one up there. Now, does Courseplay automatically buy the stuff? I'm not sure about it. I don't know if Courseplay automatically buys the stuff or not. So it looks like you have fertilizer goes into the tank at the front there. And then I would... well, it looks like you have corn go into the one at the back, all of the bits at the back. That's what it looks like. It looks like the grain, the seed goes into all of the ones at the back. And there isn't like a large capacity bucket for them at the front. I don't know about that. I honestly don't know. But what I will do is I will fill it all up. So we'll fold this one up. And I'll take it over there and we will fill the whole thing up completely. Right over this way. Like that. And bring you on round there. So fertilizer is almost done. I'll take the cover off. Like that. There. Right, fertilizer. So you can just make out inside that the cover is off. And then I will move forward a little bit further and I will fill that one up with seed. There. So that one's filled up. We've got 1,600 litres in there. And then press N and that will close it up. And you see the step folded up right there. Just that little bit down the bottom. It was the only little indication that we got that it was doing anything at all. And then you can come back over here. So you're ready to go in the morning. You will be ready and raring to go right there. I'm going to go in here and we are going to start fast forwarding time. We've got to sit here and we've got to wait for just a minute for the time to tick forward a little bit and then we can skip the night. I'm just wondering if I can't right-click. I can't go into Courseplay unless I'm actually on one of the vehicles. So we'll delete the course that we set up on Field 8 for the planter, because that's an 18-meter planter that we no longer have. So that course we will have to get rid of. Let's have a look at the animals a minute, see how they're doing. water in a pump right there. That is absolutely fine. And then in here, we've got a bit of mixed ration and water off the pump. That's doing absolutely fine. And yes. Okay, so the water with the pump situation, we figured that one out. I finally figured that one out. And it's doing absolutely wonderful. All is tickety-boo. We've got 295 cows now. So we've got our cows are beginning to fatten up. 550 kilos is an adult cow. So we'll be looking at a minimum of 250 kilos for beef animals to be sold. I believe 300 to 400 kilos would be better. And then we've got plenty of piglets turning up as well. We've got a nice lot of those. I've got the adults in here. We don't have many, and all of our piglets at the moment are quite small scale. Now, these are in kilos. I've noticed this. They're in pounds on my other one. Now, I don't know if that is that a setting on here? Celsius. It's not a setting on there. I'm wondering, let's skip the night. I need to go in a bit more. There we go. Right. I'm wondering if I have euros and kilometers, or maybe it's the kilometers, because I haven't got miles. If I've got it in kilometers, will it show the animal weights one way and so on and so forth? We'll test that a second. We'll have a look. Let's see what the weather's going to do. We're going to be raining until lunchtime. It should be dried up by this afternoon. Soil temperature is only 9 degrees. So soil temperature is not high enough for planting the corn here. See? There. Corn, 10 degrees. That's got to be 10 degrees. So we're going to have to wait until tomorrow before we can do the planting, because soil temperature doesn't come up during the day. That only changes at midnight. So that one we can't do anything about. So we're just going to be feeding animals today. And we could also do a little bit of hosing this one off. But before I do that, let's go into here a minute. We'll go that one there. Right, kilometers and euros. So all I'm going to do, I've got area unit hectares. That never changes. I'm going to change that to miles. Right, that's the only change I'm going to make. We'll change that to miles for now. And we'll see if that changes the weight on the animals from kilos to pounds. Because I got a feeling that it might. I got a feeling that measuring unit, I'm saying miles on there, but that's the imperial measuring unit, isn't it? And whereas the other measuring unit, kilometers, that's metric. So now if we go into the animals, what is it? It's showing it in pounds. Okay, so that is directly linked to the miles and kilometers bit. So right there, I've got 1,200 pound cows. See, this is a strange thing about the UK. I know that in the US, you guys predominantly work in Imperial. Although you've got your own version of Imperial for some of it, haven't you? Yeah, here in the UK, almost everything we do is metric, apart from miles. That is the only thing, right? We work meters, millimeters, right? It's all metric. You work on a building site, everything is done in metric. You will have some builders who will do quite a lot of stuff with Imperial still, but all plans and everything like that, any blueprints, plans, stuff like that, it's all in metric. Every single little bit of it will be in metric. All building supplies and materials are all done in metric. And so you will have builders who will work in feet and inches on the building site when they're measuring stuff out, and you'll have them work quite happily interchanging between the two. But everything that you order and buy and use and plans, everything, is all done metric only. You don't even get Imperial alternatives. Or for the most part, anyway. So, yeah, we're, like, as a country, we are metric, except for distance. Well, that's about all we've got time for in today's episode, so we're going to go and take a little bit of a break. We need to chill out on the beach, relax, and build up some strength. So while we're doing that, if you've enjoyed the episode, then could you please head down below and give us a like? And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.